Alright, I'm going to teach you the tune God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and I'm going to teach you the melody, which I have written out in notation for the fiddle and mandolin tab, and I'm also going to teach you how to use the E Minor Pentatonic Scale to solo over this tune. So here's the melody on mandolin. So I'll teach the melody on mandolin first, and then I'll get out my fiddle and show you how to play it on the fiddle. The notes will all be the same. There will be some differences between pick direction and bow direction between the two arrangements. So for the mandolin, you want to play this whole melody with downstrokes the whole way through, except for one place, and it's right where it goes. And that would be measure 13, 14, measure 15. There's the only two eighth notes in the whole tune. So when you get to that, you're going to play the G, that's your 5th fret, as a downstroke. The F sharp, that's your 4th fret on the D, is going to be an upstroke. Then we're right back to downstrokes again on the 2nd fret, E note. So that's the only upstroke in the whole thing. So watch me play it one more time and watch the pick direction. Alright, let's go over the chords to this tune. We're in the key of E minor, and we're going to play this E minor right here. And this is actually a power chord. It doesn't have a third in it. This could be an E minor or an E major. Now, how to make this chord, you're going to put your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G string. It's a B note. Then your 1st finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of both the D string and the A string at the same time. So that's an E note and a B note. You're going to leave E open. So there's your E minor chord. Alright, for the B7, we're going to use our bar chord shape. And the bar chord B that some of you probably know is index finger barring 4 and 4 on the G and the D strings. It's a B and an F sharp note. Ring finger is on the 6th fret of the A string. It's a D sharp note. Pinky is on the 7th fret of the E string. That's a B note. So that's a B chord. You could use that one, or what's written on the page is a B7. And the only difference is you're going to lift up that pinky, and you're going to put your middle finger on the 5th fret of the E string, and that's an A note now. So 4, 4, 6, 5. Alright, and then the other chords you're going to need for this tune is you're going to need a C chord, and the barred C works really well. That's your index finger across the 5th fret of the G and the D strings. So that's a C note and a G note. Your ring finger on the 7th fret of the E, or excuse me, 7th fret of the A, and it's an E note. Pinky is going to be on the 8th fret of the E. That's a C note. So 5, 5, 7, 8. And that's the same chord shape as that B I showed you a minute ago. Just moved up a half step. Alright, then you're also going to need a G. For this arrangement, baby G works really well. Open G, open D, index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. That's a B note. Middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. It's a G note. Alright. Alright, and then you're going to need a D chord. So we're going to use the bar form D chord. And this one is not a true bar because it's only holding down one string with your index finger. But it's a bar type shape. So how we're going to make this chord, you're going to put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. That's an A note. Ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string. It's an F sharp. Pinky on the 5th fret of the A string. That's a D note. We're not going to play the E string, so you can either miss it with your pick, or you can let one of your fingers mute that E string so it doesn't make a sound. Alright, that's all the chords you need for this tune. So I'm going to play it bluegrass style. Boom chuck. Like that. You can play this tune a lot of different ways. You can play it slow and pretty. We're going to play it the way you might want to in a jam session. So here's the chords, and I'll count it off so you can play along. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Alright, here it is a little quicker for you to practice along with. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this is going to be the fiddle melody. We're going to start on an up bow. The reason is we have a pickup note, a quarter note pickup note at the beginning of the tune. And we want to start with an up bow to set ourselves up for a strong downbeat on the first note of the song. Like that. So we're going to start mid bow to the tip. We can follow straight up, down throughout until we get to measure 13, 14, 15. There's 2 8th notes, the only 2 8th notes in the song. And we are going to make a slur with those 2 8th notes in the following quarter note. An up bow slur. So that's G, F sharp, E. 3, 2, 1 on the D string. So that phrase will sound like this. Alright, there's going to be one more slur, and that's going to be the first 2 notes of measure 17. And that's going to be a B to a C on an up bow. So that's 1 to low 2 on the A string. So if you put those 2 phrases together, that sets us up to where we can play straight down, up through the rest of the tune. So here it is all together. Alright, so the chords are going to start on an E minor, and it's going to be the same fingering on your G and D strings as the mandolin players played for their E minor. So what we're going to have is a B note on your G string, that's 2 on the G, and an E note on your D string, that's 2 on the D. So that's your E minor chord. Now this does not have a third in it, so it could work as an E major as well. Same case for the B7. What we're going to play is we're going to play the root and the fifth of the B chord. It's not going to have a third in it either. So it could be a B major, a B minor, and it works for the B7 as well. So that's going to be your second finger on the G and the D strings at the same time. It's a B note and an F sharp note. All right, now for our C, we're going to play a C note on the G string, and that is your 3 on the G. And we're going to play an E note on your D string, 1 on the D. There's your C chord. All right, then for our G, we're going to actually play a chord that doesn't have a G in it. It's going to substitute for a G chord. The reason we're using it is it sounds cool. So we're going to play our second finger on the G. That's a B note against open D. All right, and then we're going to go into a D chord like this. So that's going to be your first finger on the G string. That's an A note and open D. All right, then we're going to go back to our G again. And we're going to have to switch over to a B7. So when you do that, pick up your finger and put it on both. So first it's just on the G string with an open D. We're going to pick up our finger, drop it down on both, play that B7, and then we're back to E minor again. So you can play these chords in a variety of ways. A quick, easy way to play these chords is what I like to call a chunk. It's not a chop, it's a chunk. And it just sounds like this. So how to do that is a subject for another lesson, but you can use these chords for a chunk or for different kinds of chops, or my favorite, the train beat. And that's the tune for the fiddlers. So now I'm going to talk about how you can use the E minor pentatonic scale to improvise over the changes to this tune. And it's pretty simple. Those of you that have worked with me before probably know the G pentatonic scale. Also a subject for another lesson. Those same notes that make up the G pentatonic scale also make up an E minor pentatonic scale, and that's because those two keys are relative to each other. They share the same notes. So to make an E minor pentatonic scale, we're going to use those same notes, but we're going to start on an E instead of starting on a G. So those notes are E, G, A, B, D, E. So to play that, that is going to be your first finger on the D string, E, or the second fret on the D string if you're playing mandolin. Then you're going to play a G note, that's your third finger on the D. Also the fifth fret on the mandolin, on the D string. Open A, then B, that's your first finger on the A, second fret on the A if you're playing mandolin. And then D, that's third finger on the A, or fifth fret on the A if you're playing mandolin. And then open E. Now how to use this? You can play those notes either in the order I just played them, or you can mix them up in any order you want and play them with any rhythm you want over the chord changes of this song, and you will never play a note that sounds bad. There might be a better choice than the one you made, but none of the notes will sound bad. And you can solo over this with your friends and not have to play the melody over and over.